at a time. Roe may be gone, but the march moves on. It's about to begin with new plans and a new direction, but the goal always remains the same: end abortion now.
Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti. It's not the law of the land anymore, but according to various data, there's been more abortions in the last year than before Roe v. Wade was even overturned. And that's why thousands of people are in Washington, D.C. today, marching for life. We have team coverage all day long. We begin with Katie Vasquez on the National Mall, where things are about to kick off. She sent us this update just moments ago.
Hi, Christine. I'm in D.C. right now. We're preparing for the March for Life. As you can see, there's lots of snow on the ground. They're expecting about 2 to 4 inches today, but that isn't stopping tens of thousands of people from coming out today and joining this cause. You can see the stage is being all set up right now, and they're getting everything ready. And we actually have some people here from the Students for Life. They're going to be here today and joining in the cause. And are you excited?
Yeah!
And, you know, a lot of people, they are still here. They have lots of enthusiasm. This snow isn't deterring them at all. And they're going to have lots of events happening, lots of speakers. They're expecting House Speaker Mike Johnson to come down here. Danny Gokey, the singer from American Idol, he's also expected to be here today. And, you know, they're really going to push for pro-life and pushing their message to Congress. They're planning to walk past the Capitol building and then up by the Supreme Court. So you can see right now it's still getting all set up and everything is getting ready right now. So we're expecting a lot of energy here today and a lot of people just excited to be here despite the cold weather. And we'll have a full report for you later today. I'm Katie Vasquez in Washington, D.C.
Thanks, Katie. And remember, you can watch our broadcast at 7 o'clock tonight for a full wrap-up report. But for now, let's take another look at that new route Katie mentioned. Again, the march will step off in about an hour, but it's been changed for a very specific reason. Organizers say walking this way past the Capitol and finishing between that and the Supreme Court not only marks the victory over Dobbs, but also shows the need to maintain a pro-life presence in Washington. March for Life activities really kicked off last night at the National Prayer Vigil for Life. Almost 7,000 pro-lifers prayed for the unborn at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. Bishop Michael Burbidge, the chair of the U.S. Bishops' Pro-Life Committee, was the main celebrant. In his homily, he reminded the crowd that though Roe v. Wade being overturned was a victory, the unborn are still in danger. His message was a rallying cry for the young pro-lifers who want to keep advocating for unborn babies and their mothers.
We should be standing behind this. Like, this is the true feminist movement, the movement to be there as a supporter of life, to be proud supporters of expectant mothers, and to stand right by their side throughout all of it.
Every single life is sacred, no matter when, what, where, or what opportunity, and just to make it known to everyone that we care both about the mother and the child, and that life is important no matter what stage.
Pope Francis also sent a letter to the marchers thanking them for, quote, this eloquent witness to the inviolable right to life of every person. The national correspondent for the Tablet and Crux, John Lavenberg, was one of thousands at the vigil last night. He joined us moments ago from the National Mall. We asked him if Catholics should compromise when it comes to abortion.
Bishop Michael Burbidge told the faithful at the Mass last night that they need to communicate the truth about abortion without compromise. And when he says without compromise, he's really referring to those states that are pro-abortion and that it doesn't seem like much progress for the pro-life cause will be made. But he says those states are the most important to communicate this message.
Now, this year, March for Life is happening on the heels of the United States bishops issuing a first-of-its-kind report on religious liberty. Tell me, how does this relate to abortion?
Yeah, well, actually the number one threat to religious liberty the U.S. bishops identified in that report was attacks on houses of worship. And specifically, they identified attacks on houses of worship related to the pro-life stance many houses of worship have, especially after the overturning of Roe v. Wade. So that's how it really relates to abortion, in that these houses of worship are pro-life, and the pro-abortion community doesn't want to see that change.
The report highlights some other threats besides pressure to perform abortions and being complicit with them, but also gender transition procedures, threats to charities helping migrants, suppression of religious speech on marriage, and as you mentioned, the biggest threat is against houses of worship. Why did they decide now was the right time?
Well, Christine, the USCCB made the Religious Liberty Committee a permanent committee in 2017. And since that time, they've continued to speak on different things. But now, with everything that's happened, especially since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the war in Israel, they felt now was the time to really address a lot of the things that religious communities in the United States face.
Let's talk about another concern that the federal government could take steps to suppress religious liberty. What policies in particular?
Yeah, so there's a few, and a few of them come from the Department of Health and Human Services with the federal government and the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission. Both of these organizations are trying to change aspects of set-in-stone legislation to make it so Catholic institutions, Catholic hospitals, Catholic organizations will have to be complicit in things like abortion and gender change surgery. So those are a couple of things the federal government's trying to get in that Catholic institutions are trying to push back on.
We'll definitely keep an eye on that. John Lavenberg, national correspondent for The Tablet and Crux. We'll check back in with you later. Stay warm out there.
Thank you, Christine.
It's more than likely Diocese of Brooklyn pro-lifers will be out on the mall again next year because the procedure is only expanding when it comes to New York. The latest there, telehealth abortion access. In October, the city touted becoming the first public health system in the nation to offer the service. Expectant mothers can speak with professionals by video or phone on demand for assessment. Then they're able to receive a medical abortion kit delivered to their home address in just a few days. It's an uphill abortion battle in New York, but the bishops there have made a pro-life pledge to work toward a new future. They conceded that the procedure will probably continue to go unfettered in the state, widely considered the abortion capital of the world. But they're sending a message to moms in need. We will not abandon you. They made a pledge that any woman, regardless of beliefs or situation, can come to the Catholic Church and get the services and supports she needs to carry her baby to term. They also launched a resources page. Just go to nyscatholic.org/help for moms, and you can find a pro-life center by you. There's also a statewide map that directs you to local Catholic parishes that have ministries available. In the Diocese of Brooklyn, there are a number of places ready to help. There are currently 2 pregnancy centers, the Life Center of New York on 5th Avenue in Brooklyn and the Bridge to Life in College Point, Queens. In terms of housing options for young mothers with children, there are actually 5 options. 3 Providence houses, 1 on Church Avenue in Brooklyn and 1 on Prospect Avenue, Brooklyn, and 1 in Jamaica, Queens. There's also 2 more Brooklyn centers, the Rose Kennedy Family Center on Halsey Street and Bethany House on Sidham Street. Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan helped create that plan of action. Ahead of the march, we asked him for some advice for priests who want to make sure their parish is actively supporting mothers in need.
I'm grateful for the many parishes that do different kinds of drives. I know you've heard of the bottle drives, where people bring bottles of coins. I've heard many parishes are partnered with the Life Center and Bridge for Life, with other organizations that bring hope to people in need. The diaper drives. Just that sense of solidarity. Solidarity is a key issue for us as Catholics.
And every time the church talks about abortion, we hear the phrase from conception to natural death. Can you tell us where that originated?
You know, I'm not sure exactly where it originates, but I can tell you what it stands for. What it means is that there are 2 moments that are really moments of vulnerability: conception, the child in the womb, but also natural death, because especially here in New York State, one of our real concerns is a concern for assisted suicide, euthanasia, and that's gaining ground, and we really need to be concerned about that. We talk about the death penalty, but when we say conception to natural death, we also mean all the time in between. So our teaching on life, on respect for life, dignity of life, means to respect the dignity of every human person created in the image of God at every moment at life's journey, at every moment. So issues like racism, issues like violence, issues like some of the sufferings that people are going through, these are all concerns of ours, and it's 2 sides of the same coin. you can't say you're pro-life and not be concerned about people during their journey of life.
Right.
But very importantly, you can't have concern for these. You can't speak of human dignity for people in all of these other issues if you don't have the very basic life issue. The right to life, the right to be alive, the right to live. So that one is the fundamental that all the other rights are built upon.
If you weren't able to join the Diocese of Brooklyn in D.C., there's still an opportunity to make your pro-life voice and prayers heard. The Knights of Columbus are celebrating the annual Diocesan Pro Vita Mass on Sunday, January 21st at the Cathedral Basilica of St. James. The Mass will begin at 11 a.m. and will be shown live right here on Net TV. And don't forget the tablet. The pro-life newspaper has full coverage of the march and everything in between, including a comprehensive look at the latest abortion laws by state. So be sure to check out our website, thetablet.org, and subscribe for the latest updates on the battle to protect the unborn. Now to a personal testimony. When Christine Darby was pregnant with her daughter Gemma, she fought against all odds, including her own doctors. The professionals pressured her to get an abortion, but Christine believed in life. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has her story from Long Island.
I'm sorry. I know.
3-year-old Gemma Didone writhes in pain while getting her diaper changed. Both of her femurs are broken.
Careful. Okay.
In nearly 4 short years of life, Gemma's become no stranger to broken bones. She's had more than 30 hairline fractures. Osteogenesis imperfecta causes her to have a collagen deficiency. Her bones are very brittle.
Every single day takes her so much more effort than just a typical child. She needs to take breaks. She needs to lay back because her lung capacity is smaller than a regular child.
Want to have orange cheese?
I don't have the orange, the cheddar. It's called cheddar.
Gemma's mom, Christine, knew life having a child with OI wouldn't be easy. Yet life without Gemma would be much harder.
She was a part of me, and I just felt that she deserved a chance. She's gonna be someone in the world, and I'm happy I gave her that chance.
It was at the 13-week mark when Christine's doctors noticed some bowing in Gemma's legs. They immediately suggested she terminate her pregnancy. Gemma's condition and the pressure to abort only got worse from there.
At 7:30, every Monday, the OB would call and say, "You sure you don't want to? Are you sure?" They told me at one point, why have a baby shower? Like, what was I gonna even do with all the stuff?
The trauma really started there, you know? Yeah, it's not a great way to start your week, you know? On a Monday morning at 7 a.m., hysterical crying. Yeah, it was hard.
But abortion was never on the table for Christine and Pete. Gemma's cognitive ability is unaffected. She knew what she had to do as a Catholic and as Gemma's mom, and she hasn't looked back, even on the darkest of days.
She was mine, and I was meant to be her mom.
Today, Gemma is thriving. She goes to school, has friends, and dreams of growing up to teach doctors about the amazing potential babies with OI have. The potential every baby has.
I'm so proud of her, how far she's come. Just in the last 2 years, it's been to the moon with her improvements.
The next hurdle is saving up for an accessible home and car to accommodate a power chair.
Should we build a house together?
Yeah.
Gemma's life will never be without challenges.
Should we make a ramp for the front? So you
But
can get
Christine
your
says the best part is she's here to conquer them. On Long Island, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
If you'd like to help Gemma get a wheelchair-accessible home and car, you can donate to her GoFundMe page. Just go to GoFundMe.com and search for Gemma's Life with OI. And be sure to tune into Currents News tonight at 7 o'clock for more March for Life coverage. We'll check back in with Katie Vasquez and John Lavenberg on the National Mall. And on Monday, we'll give you full pro-life coverage. Our March for Life special will not only break down the large demonstration in D.C., but all the ways Catholics in the Diocese of Brooklyn are fighting for life. That'll be Monday, January 22nd, right here on Currents News. And that is this Currents News update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. We leave you now with this question. What do you do to promote life? See you at 7.